This video shows how to do a knit-in neckline on a sweater. The same technique could be used for the front and the back. Here we're at the end of the knitting and checking the chart. We have to take out for the neckline up to needle 26. So here I take out needle 26 on both edges, and then starting at the top of the shoulder, I pick up the edge of the knit and put it back onto the needles. There is some waste yarn here that I'm removing, it's just in my way. Next I'm going to switch to the double eye tool. That's going to help give a nice even distribution. Picking up in the middle from where the knit is holding to where I picked up needle number 26. And in the middle again, I pick up those stitches on the edge. That's going to give a nice distribution. And at the very top there is a double layer shoulder placket, so I'm making sure to pick up both layers of the fabric. Then making sure all of the needles are picked up. Carefully making sure to pick up the very last row of stitches, the one on the outer edge. And over here I forgot to wrap the yarn around the last holding needle, which helps to prevent holes. If you don't wrap the yarn when you're holding, you're going to get little holes on the edge. So make sure you wrap that row. Doing the same thing on the other side, needle number 26 for this particular sweater. Picking up in the middle, over and over to distribute evenly, and both layers on the extension. Add your comb and your weights and do one row at regular tension, regular knitting tension for the yarn, making sure that none of your buttons are pressed. Then pick up your ribber bed and begin to transfer all of the stitches to a 1x1 rib. This particular sweater has a 1x1 rib, so that's what I'm doing, transferring to 1x1. Check your needles and push back any that need to be pushed back. Check the buttons and adjust the tension as needed, just a regular 1x1 rib. And then knit the rows. This one little stitch was loose, just pulled it down. Finish knitting the rest of the rows for the neck trim. Adjusting, the last row needs to be very loose. Since it is the top of a neckline, it needs to have a little bit of give. I did this one at 8/6 on the ribber, and it was a little too tight still, so don't be shy. For cotton, 10/8 as loose as possible. And then transfer everything to the main bed. It's really good if you can get a transfer carriage so you don't have to do this by hand. I am not this fast. This was sped up very, very quickly. Check, make sure all of the stitches knit properly. Sometimes they tuck or they miss in the very first row, but these all came out very good. Then remove all your weights, remove the comb. Put the weights back 1x1 so you can remove them as you are casting off, and start your cast off. Finish your cast off and trim it off, and then you can see the final result of the knit-in neckline. You can still see all the details on the transferring that was done. It still has plenty of give, even with that crocheted edge. That is why you have to do a very loose last row, so you can have a nice loose crochet edge. It still looks very neat. This is cotton, so it will be washed and it'll tighten up a little bit, so it'll even out. And there you can see the buttonholes on the very top of the placket on the shoulder. and no holes. So remember to wrap that yarn, otherwise you're going to get a big pointelle looking hole. And you can do the same technique for the back. It's a little easier because you don't have the placket, but that's it.